Hey folks, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while since you've seen me, but I'm going to do a little rundown on how this all works and what to do to start metal detecting yourself. So this will be a beginner's guide to metal detecting.
Alright, so this is what you need to go metal detecting. You really only need a few things. I've got them kind of in order of what you need, in order of importance. We have our headphones, which, you know, that kind of goes. You really don't need to have those, but you have to have a metal detector. In order to go metal detecting, you have to have a metal detector. So we got our metal detector. The next thing you need is some kind of way to dig up whatever you found. So a trowel or something similar. I like this one because it's got a serrated edge, it's got a sharp edge, and it helps actually cut through the grass, so this is really nice. Here we have a pin pointer. So this pin pointer is made by White's. This is a TRX, a Bullseye TRX. This is about a $150 pin pointer. You can get them for much cheaper at Harbor Freight, but they can only detect about that far away, whereas these ones are about 4 inches. So these are really good tools, but they're really expensive tools. This will cost you almost as much as your metal detector in the first place. So this is a really good tool. It helps you find your stuff much faster, much quicker, but it's not as necessary as having something to dig it up in the first place. The next one, I use a glove, and I actually have a glove within a glove because I've already ripped through this one. I have one hand that I put the glove on, the other hand I don't, mainly because that hand is using the tools. And this is the one for this is what I use for picking up the stuff and feeling it and seeing what's going on with the find that I get. So I have this as protection, so in case I've got some kind of a nail, a rusty nail or something, I don't accidentally cut myself. I have found razor blades and the like inside the dirt. So it depends on where you're metal detecting to. I've been to parks where people do drugs, and well, I kind of try to stay away from those, but I didn't know that until I started digging stuff up. So these kind of things, having some way to protect yourself, that's kind of nice. The next one down here that you see is my battery charger. Now inside my metal detector, I use AA batteries. So I kind of found that it's important to have, instead of having to pay all the time to get new batteries, I got rechargeable batteries, and I got a battery charger that is really easy to tell when the batteries are charged. It turns red when it says they need to be charged, turns green when they're good to go, and it's really bright like a nightlight. This one's made by Energizer, and this one does not only AA, but it also does AAA batteries. So I've got both of them on here, and the reason why I want AAA is because, well, this next thing on my list, next thing you see here is my headlamp. Now this headlamp is not necessary at all to go metal detecting. However, I like it because I like to do nighttime detecting, where I'll go out and I'll have this on my head, and this will change the brightness, and I don't have anybody bugging me while I'm going out. Not that they bug me too much, but sometimes they do. With this light, also, if I'm in the daytime and I'm detecting and really having a hard time seeing stuff, or maybe you got some friends that want to go detecting with you a little bit older, they can turn this on and they can see inside the hole during the daytime and see what they're finding. It just brightens up the hole, makes it easier to see, maybe see the metal that reflects off of it, etc. So these are really good tools. This is really all that you need. You don't need any fancy holders for this. I put it in my pocket when I go detecting. I put this in my other pocket when I go detecting. This is the bare minimum, would be the detector and the trowel. When I first started metal detecting, I would dig up my stuff before I had a pinpointer, and I would take the clump of dirt and I would go over the top of the coil, and when something dropped over the coil, I'd hear the ding, and that let me know that I'd found something important. So it is possible to go with just these two. You don't even have to have the headphones because it will make the noise on its own. But this is the setup that I've been using, and I've been doing this for 4 or 5 years. So there you go. Alright, so my metal detector found right around in here, it found what it thinks to be is a quarter. Now that could be anything made out of zinc. It could be a toy car or something like that. Usually it shows up as a dime if it's a toy car or something else, but as a quarter, it is a possibility it could have silver in there. But this is how I would find it. Once I use the coil and know the general area, I go ahead and move my metal trowel out of the way, because that would be found by this. So now I also have my wedding ring. I got to move that out of the way. And I'm going to use this, make sure it's on, and then I'm going to do a little pattern. Now I found, here's the buzz right here. I go from left to right, whereas you're looking right to left, and it gets a buzz right here every time, but it pinpoints to about here. So I go up and down, and every time it pinpoints me to here. Now it said it was somewhere between 2 to 4 inches deep. So what I do when I'm in grass is I gotta cut. Here we go. I cut what's called a plug. Now I'm not going to cut all the way around a full circle. Instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a little chunk out so the grass still remains connected. I'm going to take my pin pointer, because I do have a wedding ring in my left hand. I'm going to have my left hand hold the pin pointer and confirm that it's in the plug, which it is. There's something here. All right, so here it's buzzing for me, so I'm going to push this button again, because on the TRX it makes it so I can change the sensitivity. Oh, so it's saying it's right in here. Oh, there it is. There it is. All right, so I got a quarter that I just found in the plug. So now I'm going to just clean it up a little bit. Try not to be too abrasive, because some of these coins are very expensive. Not the ones I'm finding most of the time, but you know, you go look in the good old South of America and you find some Civil War relics. This one happens to be a quarter from 1991. Not too old. It's less than 30 years old, but you know, it's a quarter. So we take our first one. Now that I have my plug, I'm going to put that back in, and I'm going to give it a nice little pat on the ground, like I was never here.
One of the best tips I have for you is when you're at a park to metal detect around trees, because there's usually shade around them. And of course the shade changes throughout the day, so it makes it a really easy point to pick a center point and go all the way around the tree. And you never know what you're going to find.
Time.
Something else that's very key is to make sure you double check your hole. There's been more than once I found more than one coin in one hole.
Quarter. Nice. But if I put pressure on my detector, just pushing down on it, it makes it go even though there's nothing there. Or if I hit it, that gives a false signal.
Now here I want you to take a look at how my daughter is using the metal detector. Notice that she's lifting it way up high off the ground. Now look how I'm doing it. Notice how I keep the coil very close to the ground and I keep it level.
So I just found the metal detector says somewhere around here. The wood chip's a little different. I don't necessarily need the trowel. It's nice to have, not a need to have. So I'm gonna go and buzz this. Let's see. Right here. Now notice I got tons, I don't know if you'll see this, but I got tons of kids around me. This happens when you go to the park. Alright, so still right there. Oh, there it is. There it is. That is a quarter.
That's a quarter? It's a rusty quarter.
Can you have the quarter?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. If it's from 1964 or older, I keep it. If it's newer, then I give it to your sister, because she asked first.
And then, can I have it next after?
Maybe, we'll see. We'll see.
What did you do?
I spit on it.
Ew.
You still want
I know, right?
Why did you spit it?
So I can see what year it is. $1989. What do you say?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dad,
you can call me
didn't-
Uncle Bob. That's fine.
Dad, didn't Elsa say that she wanted it next up to next week? She didn't get it
She's
back?
not around.
Yeah. She doesn't know what happened.
Quite often, probably more often than treasure, you're going to find trash. I've got a pull tab, I got a little piece of aluminum foil. When you find this in a park, one of the greatest things about metal detecting is you don't leave it there. You take it out. You're actually making the park safer, which is why it's a good thing that you're out there doing what you do. So when you find trash, make sure you throw it away. Thanks.
Hey folks, thanks for watching. Until next time.